Good evening, and welcome to the Stations of the Cross. This evening, the Acts community is presenting the stations as written by Mary Grace Vilmer, Director of Religious Education for the school and PSR. We ask that if you are able, please stand, face the station. The leader at the podium will say, "We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you." The people respond, genuflecting and reciting, "Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world." The leader will recite a short explanation of the station, followed by a reflection by the station attendee, and then some music. The people will respond with the prayer on the chart reflected on the screen at the altar. At station 12, the entire congregation will kneel and reflect on the station. At the end of the stations, the lights will be turned on and we will recite the Our Father together. The first station, Jesus is condemned to death. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. There you stand before the crowd after being beaten. You humbly accept the punishment given to you by those who had witnessed your miracles. It's easy to look at this scene now and think, how could they have accused you and condemned you to death? All you did was love every person you met, yet they are not alone in their condemnation of you.
How often do I ignore you in the person no one wants to talk to? How often do my words condemn you in the way that I speak about others? It was not only the Jews and Pontius Pilate who condemned you, but I stand next to them shouting as loud, "Crucify him."
Jesus, forgive me for the ways in which I condemn and pierce others with words and actions. Help me to love like you and to learn from your example. The second station, Jesus carries the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. By now you have endured a sleepless night, betrayed by your friends, and a beating that is too horrible to fully imagine. You've been whipped, stripped, and spit on by countless faces, some of whom last week treated you as royalty as you entered the city. And now, they hand you a cross to carry. The weight of it is far more than any number of pounds we can figure. For in carrying the cross, you carry the weight of our sins.
How often do I forget that you have carried the load for me? How often do I try to carry things on my own, not allowing you to help me? It was not only the sins of the world that you carried, it was my sin, my selfishness, my pride, and my anger. Each added more weight to the load. And it was not only my sin you carried, but also my burdens, my worries, my fears, my sadness, my insecurities.
Jesus, help me not to forget the load that you carried for me. Give me the strength and the courage to let go of those things that separate me from you. The third station, Jesus falls for the first time. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. As you walk through the narrow streets, every movement, every jolt burns and reopens your wounds. The pain along with the weight of the cross becomes too much and you fall. In boxing, when a fighter falls and is too beaten to continue, the fight is stopped by the referee. Yet there is no one there to stop the battle that you fight for us. Even though you know what still lies ahead, you do not stop and somehow find the strength to continue.
How many times have I fallen into sin in my life's journey? Too many to count, I'm sure. So many times when I don't fall, I feel like getting back up and trying again. There are too many temptations that I am faced with that I feel too fun and easy to do because so many around me are doing them.
Jesus, help me to remember your courage and perseverance when you fell. Give me the courage to get back up when I fall. Help me remember that it is worth it to live as you lived. The fourth station, Jesus meets his mother. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. Amid all the shouts and jeers from the crowd that move like a wave in your mind as you struggle to remain conscious, one voice stands out. At first, it is so faint that you wonder if it is real. But then, as your eyes meet and you see her face, you are not surprised that she is there for you. She has always been there for you. Her yes to the Father has been a light in the darkness, and now, here in your darkest hour, she is there.
There are so many times when I feel alone in my struggles. It seems that no one understands what I'm going through. As I watch them in this place along the way, I contemplate the mystery of love's power to give strength. Mary knows the sorrow in every mother's heart who has lost a child to tragedy or violence. I look at the two of them very carefully and long for such a love and such peace.
Jesus, help me to remember that I am never alone in my struggles. Help me know Jesus's and Mary's love for me. Help me to remember the light of your mother in my life.
The fifth station, Simon helps Jesus carry his cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. The soldiers who had beaten you all day had what appears to be a moment of compassion, yet instead, their selfish motives override their opportunity for charity. They only want to follow their orders to get you up to the place where you will be crucified. How beaten you look that they decide to grab Simon, a Cyrenian, out of the crowd to help you carry the cross. He follows behind you, walking in your steps, helping you move forward. You press on, knowing that the worst is yet to come.
How often do I pass up an opportunity to help someone in need? Do I let what others may think of me stop me from reaching out?
Jesus, open my ears to hear the ways that you call me to serve. Help me follow Simon's example of helping others. Help me to know what it means to be true and a faithful servant. The sixth station, Veronica wipes the face of Jesus. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. By now the thorns cut so deeply into your head that even seeing where you should step next is almost impossible. Up to this point, all who approach you, other than your mother, either shout at you or spit in your face. As Veronica approaches, she walks differently than the others. As she reaches out her hands and wipes your face with her cloth, suddenly her face of compassion becomes clear. No words are necessary. Both your eyes say it all. For in that moment, your dignity as a man is restored.
How many times have I forgotten that each person is made in your image and likeness, and therefore deserves my respect? Do I make others objects of my pleasure and ignore their humanity? Veronica courageously stepped forward and dared to treat you differently than everyone else. Could I do the same?
Jesus, help me to see your presence in others. Give me the courage to follow Veronica's example of treating others with love, even when no one else does. The seventh station, Jesus falls the second time. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. The soldiers are enraged at you for falling this time. They can't understand how Simon's help is not enough. In their anger, they hit you again and again before they remember that you have to be alive to be crucified. The beating stops, but the shouts and the taunts become louder and harsher. At this moment, you can stop this. You are the Messiah and have the power to reveal yourself to everyone there. But you know that it would not fulfill all that is written about you. You know that you must be faithful to all of the Father's promises to his people. Remembering your love and your faithfulness, you get up. And now with your wounds full of dirt and each step embedding it deeper, you keep going.
How many times have I failed to follow through on my promises. Or worse yet, how often have I lied even to people I care about? Do I remember your faithfulness even when I fail?
Jesus, help me to believe in your faithfulness and love for me. Give me the grace to follow through on my word to others. Help me to be a person of integrity. The eighth station, Jesus meets the women of Jerusalem. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. Their wailing sounds like a funeral. They cry and weep as if you are already dead. While air still passes through your lungs and your heart still beats, to them you are dead. They know you are your way to be crucified, and because of the beating you have endured, you already look like you should not be breathing at all. Yet in this moment, consumed by death, you speak words of life and say, "Daughters of Jerusalem, do not weep for me."
Do I listen to your words in my life? How often have these things I've watched or listened to led me away from you? Have I allowed the gospel of life to reign in my heart?
Jesus, help me to listen to your words of life. Show me ways that I can be put first.
The ninth station, Jesus falls for the third time. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. Again you fall, this time from sheer exhaustion. Only your will presses you forward while your body refuses. How difficult it must be to you, how difficult it must be to be you, fully God and fully man. God knows that this has to be finished and that it is not yet complete. Man feels the excruciating pain, and every bone in your body wants to stop right here and move no further. Somehow both join together. You muster the strength to get up. You vow to not fall again, because now you can see the place they are leading you to. You know the end is close, and so you press on.
How many times have I let my flesh win over my spirit? How often have I chosen to sin rather than to follow your way? Was it my sin that became
Jesus, help me to follow your ways. Help me remember your victory over my sin. Give me the grace to recognize when I sin and the desire to sin no more. The 10th station, Jesus is stripped of his garments. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. In some ways, to get to this point is a relief because you know that it is almost over. In other ways, it is terrifying because you know the worst pain possible for man to endure is still waiting for you. By now your cuts have dried into your garments. Because of this, they act as a layer of skin for you, since so little of your own remains. As the soldiers strip you, it is not the nakedness that is painful, but rather the tearing of your skin. The cuts that had closed now reopen. You are stripped of your dignity as a man.
How often have I judged others by the way they look or what they are wearing? Do I find my own self-worth and self-identity by the clothes I wear or the way I look?
Jesus, help me to look past the outside of others. Help me not to judge them by how they look or what they wear. Help me to find my self-worth and identity in you. The 11th station, Jesus is nailed to the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. Lying down on wood is not foreign to you. The first place you were laid when you came into this world was a wooden manger. There you were laid in love, and now it is out of love that you lay here on this wooden cross. The soldiers nail both your hands and your feet to the cross. Pain pierces and jolts your entire body.
In reflection, I am angered by the soldiers. I can't understand why they are doing this to you, and yet what is hardest to realize is that not only am I in the crowd watching all of this, but I'm also one of them nailing you to the cross. How many times has my sin become a strike of the nail into your body? How often do I turn away from your mercy?
Jesus, I'm sorry for nailing you to the cross with my own sin. Help me to seek your forgiveness and mercy for the times that I sin. The 12th station, Jesus dies on the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. Above your head is the inscription, King of the Jews. As you use every last ounce of life left in you to lift your body so that you can speak, you do not look the part of king. Yet every word out of your mouth is one of love, truly from another kingdom. The faces of all humanity must flash before your eyes as one by one you recount whom you are doing this for. And finally, you say, Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. It is finished. You breathe your last, and it looks as though this is the end. Jesus, help me to never forget your love for me. Help me to know that you have died for me. Fill me with comfort in knowing that I will never suffer anything God knows I cannot handle. The 13th station, Jesus is taken down from the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. The first arms that held you in this world are also the last. Your mother was told a sword would pierce her heart the day you were presented to you as an infant to the Father. Now, as she holds your body, she sees not only the man she now holds, but also the child she once held, and her heart is pierced yet again. Your comfort to her will come, but in this moment, she has only the Father to be with her in her sorrow and pain. All hope seems gone.
How many times I thought I had lost hope in you. How often have I doubted your ability to be God in my life over all things.
Jesus, help me to trust in you. Help me to place all of my hope in you, and give me peace in knowing that you are Lord over all things. The 14th station, Jesus is placed in the tomb. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. Jesus, a man named Joseph from Arimathea, risks his own life as he accepts your body to be laid to rest. As he prepares your body for burial, he gives you his own tomb. He lays your body there and rolls a large stone in front of it, then goes home. What a sad day it has been for so many people.
How many times has death felt like an end? When I've lost a loved one, it can be so hard to remember your victory. How often do I miss the opportunities to say, I love you, to those special people in my life? Do my family and friends know how I feel about them?
Jesus, help me always remember that death is not the end. Give me the strength to say the words, I love you, to those people in my life that I do love. Help me to love every person, not just in words, but also with my actions. Join me in saying the Our Father. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.